My name is Mike DeGagné, and I am the past President and Vice-Chancellor of Nipissing University. How did my involvement at Nipissing University impact me? Oh, profoundly. I have always been a part of the university structure and system as a lecturer and contributor in some way, but the opportunity to be a senior administrator was very timely for me, and I think it really affected me profoundly. Yeah, I learned a great deal about education and post-secondary education in particular. Well, there's a script for these things, right? So my greatest achievement in life is, of course, my children and my wife and my parents and my siblings, and so that script says family and everything that you do on a personal level. On a professional level, I've been involved in the startup of a number of different organizations. Organizations that have affected individuals and helped them change their lives and made things better for them. So I'll always be able to say that I was able to help people and their lives were changed for the positive. This is a very important honor because of the people that I met when I was at Nipissing University. I loved being here, and I met a lot of people who were very generous with their time and their stories, and people you could barely get down to the cafeteria without meeting 10 people in the hall. It's that kind of familial place, and so for me it's important to have this honor as a way of acknowledging all of those relationships and people and conversations, and it is something that I can take with me. My biggest role model in life, I would have to say it would have to be somebody who helped people, somebody who did so, I think, in the good way, lived the good life with humility and the idea that they were there to serve, and somebody who had an appreciation for other people's look on life, look through a different lens, perhaps. So I'd have to say my father. He was a real influence on me. He was I think he was a bit of an armchair philosopher. And so there was lots of advice, but the wonderful part about him is that he lived his own advice. So he was, I think, one of the great role models in my life. I think any motto that I live by would have to involve humility and generosity. Without those two things, you're really only working for yourself. So you have to approach, I think, every job you do. I was here at the university. I've been working in Indigenous organizations and in government, and no matter where you go in those types of structures, you have to approach things with humility and with a sense of generosity of your time and your treasure and your talents. I have tons of favorite Nipissing anecdotes and memories, and they all involve being able to pause and meet people and sit with them and talk to them, and just on this floor in the institution and around the president's office, there's so many people who I talk to every day, right? Yourselves included. And so my memories revolve around spending a little bit of extra time, not just a hello in the hall, but a little bit of extra time with people I met. There was a time we had organized a trip, and we took a group of people on the train to the Agawa Canyon, north of Sault Ste. Marie. And it's a long way. It's a longer trip than you might think. So we went up for a couple of hours and coming back, and we were tired coming back, and so we were a little giddy. And we had an exercise where a whole bunch of people from Nipissing were there, and we painted pictures, and it got really funny really fast. And one of the greatest afternoons of my life. It was wonderful. Current Nipissing student, I would say that there's an opportunity here to look outward, not inward. Education, I think, is an exercise that we think is very solitary, that we sit in our dorm room and we pound out the hours of homework, and there's some minimal overlap with maybe a roommate and that sort of thing. But that is a look inward. And I invite you to look outward and look what's here, because university isn't just about academics. It's about finally learning who you are, experimenting with different, personalities and approaches to life, and meeting a lot of people that may not agree with you and having to navigate that. So I think that my advice would be balance looking inward with looking outward. Do both, and you'll be better for it.